Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Hysteria Projects. I hope you're doing well, having a wonderful Friday. This is a general message. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. The overall energy here is truth, honoring truth in your actions and words. Authenticity fosters trust and genuine connections. And there's this heavy energy of having discovered yourself. You know, you just completed something, and this something that you completed has a lot to do with who you are as a person, discovering who you are as a person, and standing in that confidently. So let's just go ahead and hop into it. Guidance. Seek guidance from mentors and trusted advisors. It provides wisdom and perspective. That's something that you have been doing a lot of, seeking out guidance, observing things of that nature, and you've seen a lot of things that you like and that you admire and would like to integrate into your life. And you've seen a lot of things that you don't like. And both of those things have been very needed on this journey, to discover, who you are, coming into contact with somebody that you know that you would never do anything or be anything like that person. That just confirms who you are to yourself even more, and you've been on this journey of discovering who you are and, what makes you happy. You could have been somebody that, really just kind of gave in to a lot of situations or people, and you're standing stronger because you're understanding yourself more. You're putting your own self first. If you put everyone else before you, who are you? Right? And you've been really on this journey of discovering who you are, and there's this graduated energy here. You know who you are now. Faith. Hold on to faith in yourself and your journey. It strengthens resilience and optimism. You've been on a very intense spiritual awakening. Very intense. And I don't know how long this particular journey of yours has been going on, but you went from being like a ticking time bomb, all right, to being like a gentle butterfly. You really have changed from the inside out, following the path that aligns with your true purpose and aspirations. It unfolds your unique journey, and you've been staying true to your path. You're not doing something just because somebody told you to do it, right? You really have been cleaning up your soul, cleaning up your life, and taking a deeper look into the parts of life that aren't toxic. Remaining hopeful. During challenges, uncertainties, we have optimism and resilience once again. You keep powering through, you keep pushing forward. And that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to keep pushing forward, keep growing, continue through. Okay, you never give up. You continue to have hope, continue to have faith. Let me pull one more before I switch decks. Or two, okay. This harmony and this abundance, this entire shift of your being is giving you harmony and abundance. You're seeking balance in life, and you're finding that peace and that stability. You're grateful for all the abundance that you do have. You're very open, and you accept the things that you have and that you don't have. You're very grateful for everything. And you're very open to more blessings to come into your life, or opportunities. You could have been in a very pessimistic outlook at one point. I'll go ahead and pull some of these. You woke up. You woke up. There could have been a period of your life where you kept being told, you kept hearing, wake up, wake up, wake up. And you finally woke up. You finally started this journey. And you have been very strong in your faith ever since. This journey has provided you hope, has provided you purpose and peace. The blessings that you have in your life, excuse me, the blessings that you have in your life and that you are continuing to receive right now are very spiritual. Okay? And you could be aware of these blessings because, again, you have been on this path. You have graduated of this journey of figuring out who you are, okay? And these, you could have experienced, a lot of lessons through romantic relationships, all right? But these blessings that you have are divinely given, and they're in the divine realm, all right? So this is protection, heavy, heavy protection. This is blessings of communication with spirit to guide you, This is blessings of happiness, no more sorrow, no more sorrow. And this is also blessings of balance, balance within your life, and balance within yourself. You could have had to revisit situations or people in your life multiple times, okay? And the reason for that was because you were still trying to figure out who you were and what your purpose was and how to align, okay? And the way that this is coming through is that the path that you're on, you having just graduated and completed this particular journey here, you're on this new path, all right, and a new alignment. And this is going to, I'm getting lots and lots of smiles, lots of reasons to start taking photos again if you've not been taking photos. Lots of memories and stories to write down and tell and share. Going out and, getting to live life, all right? Getting to live life. Exploring. You have a lot of very new things that are going to be filled with this more lighthearted, this more happy energy overall. And that's because you've passed all of these really dark times, these really brutal situations and trauma, and trying to, figure out what is your place in this world, right? Yeah. It's been exhausting. It's been exhausting. But you never gave up. You kept pushing through. You kept staying true to your responsibilities. You kept staying true to existing, okay? You never gave up hope. And you've had a lot thrown at you. This cleanup that's happening in your life right now, this was a big mess to clean up. And this isn't like a mess of your doing necessarily. This is just a mess of life, a mess of energy, a mess of loops and stagnance. And, it's that feeling of 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. You know what I'm saying? But you never gave up. You kept pushing through. And you never gave in to going back to having such a very dark view of life. All right, the energy is that you were in a very dark place. You could struggle with depression, okay? And one of these things that is a big change here is you holding on to this optimism, you holding on to this strength, and you not letting yourself slip back as severely to those moments. When you're feeling upset, when you feel yourself to start to slide back towards that depression, you've gained the tools and you have enough knowledge now at this point, and awareness at this point, to where you do something about it now. You acknowledge it. Just by you acknowledging it is stripping it of the power that it once had on you. You know what I'm saying? You really do have this more light energy on a continuous, stream here that is going to carry on to this new journey. This harmony, this balance. This is going to be the new normal. I know that sounds crazy, but this is going to be the new normal. You're going to go from this survival instinct mentality, this survival mode, which is could be all you've known, just how to survive, how to just exist and live. But you never gave up on there being more in life. And this is the energy that is going to be this new energy. Old energy, new energy. Right? It's going to feel weird. It is. It's going to feel very weird for this to be so steady, I'm getting. Because you've worked very hard and you continue to work on this. But this is going to become just the new natural go-to energy for you now. Whereas before you had this survival energy and you had to work very hard to obtain this more peaceful, balanced energy, that's been overwritten. This is going to be that new normal. This happy, peaceful. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You're beautiful. No. That's too many. I'm not keeping on that. Let's get some for abundance, please. Okay. So this brings me back to when I said earlier, you could have learned a lot through relationships, through toxic relationships, karmic relationships. You're also not giving up on the idea of you having a successful and abundant, loving relationship in your life. And this is going to, happen for you. It really is. All of these beautiful things are going to be in this new journey that you're going on. It's starting off with this just very balanced energy, and you're carrying on this hope into this energy as well, so this love that you truly are worthy of, this is going to come into your life. Be open to it. Be open, and I feel like you are open. You're still open to the idea, and that's what's most important here. You might have not stumbled across this person yet. You might not be in alignment yet. You know what I'm saying? Like this new journey has really kind of just begun for you, but you will receive love. You will receive harmony and peace and stability, safety. You know, you're being rewarded. And the way you're being rewarded first and foremost is spiritually. And that's what you don't see. You know, not everything is what it appears. And you're learning that as well. You're looking back on a lot of these past situations, realizing what a huge impact it did have on your journey. You know, how, I mean, I hate to say it, you know, but as dark as some of these situations were, how needed it was for you to get the picture and go this other direction or whatever it may be for you, you know. This new journey that you're going on, you know, you do have a little bit of nervousness, and that's just lingering energy from that survival mentality that you had. You still have survival traits within you, but they're not dominating you. You're not living out in this primitive energy. You're living in this more natural, beauty, receptive, go with the flow energy, okay? And the nervousness is just because you don't have a gauge. You don't have a judge on what this new adventure could be like. You know, because this is all you've known. All you've known. So this brightness, it's going to be so foreign. It's going to be so new. And it's going to be the new normal for you. This Ace of Pentacles. Let's see. I think I'll keep it down here. This Ace of Pentacles, you know, this is the new stability for you. This is the beginning of your new life. You know, the energy is that you've already received these spiritual blessings, and if you haven't received them all yet, they're playing out right now. Okay, that's the protection, that's the, you know, not being in depression, that's the balancing of the scales. Okay. Excuse me. You know, so those blessings are either completed or they're coming to a complete. The balancing is still, you know, balancing out. Now, what happens next are the physical blessings that you're going to be getting. You know, you've been receiving an abundance of spiritual blessings that you can't see, okay? But you've been receiving them. You might be seeing signs of them. You could even feel them. What's going to happen next is you're going to start seeing the physical blessings, the physical abundance that is going to match with this energy that you have, that you're carrying into this new timeline, really. You know, this Eight of Wands. I mean, you're walking into a whole new life here. You walked away from the darkness. You had faith. And one of the reasons I feel like you're being, the Hierophant. One of the reasons why I feel like you're being blessed so spiritually first is because of how much faith and how much hope and how much belief you had in God and spirit and the universe and the guidance you're receiving. Whatever it is that you believe in, you know, the amount of that belief that you had, that trust, that inner knowing, you know, you're being highly blessed for that. And those kind of blessings aren't something you can just win the lottery and go fucking buy, okay? Those are the most important blessings. To have protection, to have justice and balance and happiness. I mean, come on. Yeah. It's not your destiny to forever be heartbroken. Like, the fuck? You know what I mean? Again, with this, you've learned a lot through some fucked up relationships. Alright? And it's part of your destiny to have that abundant love. To have that love that you give out back. And you've remained so strong in your truth. You know, that's part of you figuring out who you are and you being authentic. You know, you don't have to lie. Why? Right? You've, even in times of being uncertain or being afraid, you're still very open about that. You're honest about that. You're wonderful, you know. And this Two of Wands and this harmony, you know, you have had a lot of very challenging situations thrown your way where you had to make a split decision. You had to act very quickly. And the way that it's coming through is that not only have you made the right decisions, but you did it in such a graceful manner. You know, the divine knows the amount of pressure that these decisions had and how gently you went about it. You know, they're clapping for you. You got people on the other side clapping for you. You know, yeah. This Page of Cups and this Tower, there's two things coming through with this. You know, for these people that you learned a lot of lessons for, that were very childish, very immature, these people are undergoing this judgment, this balancing, this for their immaturity, you know, for a lot of things, okay? Things are balanced or being balanced, right? Also, though, you know, these people, they're having their own tower moments, right? Part of their tower moments is seeing you, seeing how really great you actually are, okay? Missed opportunity at its fucking finest, right? But their loss, not yours. You turned it into your gain, right? You learned from it. And part of your abundance, part of your destiny here is to have a healthy, romantic, receptive relationship. And it will come to a tower moment to you to have a very beautiful offer of love, you know, because you have gone through so much, especially in relationships, okay? But you've gone through these things to learn who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate. You know, you've learned so much and you have so many tools that you've gathered throughout this entire journey that you're carrying into this new life, you know. So when this love does approach you, when you are in alignment and the time is right for this pure love to happen, it's going to come as a tower moment for you. But it's going to come as a tower moment in the most beautiful way, you know. You're gonna be maybe a little, you know, for a minute. you know, you're gonna have decision, but keep in mind, okay, that going into this new adventure that you're going on, this new journey, all right, it's gonna have its ups and downs too, but it's not gonna be anything like what you just came out of, okay? You're stepping into a brighter, lighter timeline here, really. And so you're going to be able to navigate a lot of these challenges so much easier. And you're going to be able to completely avoid a lot of situations just because you've already been through them and you know what to look for and you know what the signs are. And you are so close with your spirit team and with the divine here, you know, that they're definitely going to communicate with you. You know, so it might come as a tower moment, but it's such a good tower moment because this is going to be part of your abundance and this love that is destined for you. I'm going to take that. Anything else? Okay. All right, so we have appreciation. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. As I focus on all that is wonderful, my worries lighten. With a full heart, I appreciate all I have. I accept what is, as it is, and choose contentment. I express my loving thanks to the universe for the wealth that is mine. Okay. and unconditional love. I choose to see the light in everyone, recognizing the divine in each being. I accept others as they are, offering compassion to all my brothers and sisters of the light. I offer unconditional love to everyone I meet, joining my soul with theirs to grow together in universal love. Yeah. You have a very beautiful next section of your life about to unfold. You know, don't be afraid that this peaceful energy, this happiness that you feel is temporary. You know, I got to stop real quick because it just came through real fast. You know, they want me to say it before I wrap this up. You know, you feel like the good things are fleeting and it's hard for you to hang on to those things. And that's okay. You know, we're not meant to hang on, okay? But the way that this is coming through, Spirit wants to let you know that this peacefulness, okay, this very neutral flowing outlook, okay, and energy that you have, that's not gonna elude you. That's not gonna just fly away from you, okay? If anything, this is going to become the new normal. And that's why it kind of feels funny. That's why you might have a little bit of feelings, you know, you don't want it to go, but it's okay because it's not going to go, you know. That is just this lingering past energy that you're, you know, it's lingering. You're already out of this energy. You're in this energy, you know. And it's like this, you're looking at this like it's a vacation, you know. Do I have to fucking go back? No. This isn't a vacation. This is where you live now. This is history, okay? And you're going to have unconditional love unfold in this new journey of your life as well. Because you have unconditional love. And the divine has unconditional love for you. I hope this message helped. Until next time. Bye.